Kumusta kayong lahat? Welcome to our first episode of The Crossover, the basketball show for the Filipino community. My name's PJ and I'm just one of the hosts here. Alongside with me is Marky Mark, and we also have JR. So we like to start off every episode with something we call The Rundown, and that's where we discuss anything relevant basketball-wise. So let's run it down. Marky Mark, what do you have for us?
To me, it's the playoffs, guys. Like, it's a very different feeling. The regular season was great, but playoffs is just a different type of intensity. I told all my friends, there's a game tonight, sorry, I can't hang out. I gotta watch all these games.
That's true. It's a pinnacle of like the NBA.
It is.
And anything can happen in the playoffs.
Right.
People can choke, and there's also great moments that can occur.
So what do you guys think is the most intriguing playoff series within the West or within the East right now?
I'm a big Warriors fan. Like, this guy knows I'm a big Steph Curry fan. So I would say the Warriors and the Houston Rockets, but I watched the first game and they made it look too easy. I actually got bored when I was watching the game because they just cruising through the Houston Rockets. So I wanted to watch something more of a tight matchup, more closer. And I found that through watching the Indiana Pacers and the Raps. It's a great matchup. I think it's a really close games that they'll have, and it's going to be a really good surprise to watch them play.
It's surprising because, man, even last year we had a hard time in the playoffs, and this year it's such a close matchup. And Raptors, I don't know, it's kind of iffy. How
They're a
we'll
very
do.
different team this year, but we all remember all the history. That's
Right. Mm-hmm. We do have a problem with anybody that's named Paul. We had Paul Pierce.
That's true.
Paul Pierce against
That's true.
with the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
Paul Pierce with Washington Wizards, and now we have a problem with Paul George.
Exactly.
Good thing we don't have Chris Paul on the East.
Right. So that would be a big problem. But speaking of Golden State, like, do you think the best team right now since they got that 73-9 season record?
I think they've done a lot of things that it's a different era with the Chicago Bulls when they had the record. And they're really revolutionizing the game right now. And I think they're the best basketball team today based on what the rules that we have now, because things have changed since then.
It's true. I'm a hardcore Spurs fan, and they take ball movement and plays to the next level. They're like the Spurs on steroids. And Curry, like himself, is just, who's going to stop Curry?
Especially Curry was out the first two games with an injury. But, you know, the Golden State Warriors, they handled it. They handled the team, Houston Rockets, and, like, you know, they blew them out.
It's true. I mean, like, that's why I said I love to watch the Warriors play all the time, but I think this time they're just going to cruise through. I wanted to look more of a closer matchup. But in a sense, even Greg Popovich said, Steve Kerr took whatever he learned from him and they make it look so fun. And whatever Spurs do, they just make it look more fun and more exciting. That's why a lot of people like watching the Golden State Warriors play.
And you talk about Steve Kerr, and he's he's on a good side of history because he's both the coach of the 73-9, and also he was part of the Chicago Bulls that had that crazy record.
For him, it didn't matter if they got it or not, because either way, it's him. He's in both.
Yeah. It's legacy.
Right.
So.
And speaking of legacy, you want to talk about Kobe's retirement, right?
Yeah, Kobe. The last game where he showed and put up 60 points. Like, who does that? And that was such a great moment. And we had such a hard decision of who to watch. You know, greatness being shown by Golden State or greatness about to leave. So.
I gotta confess, I'm not a big Kobe fan, so I decided to watch the Warriors game. But I respect what he did. He was able to do things that. Even in Lakers history, not many, even Kareem and Magic weren't able to do, right? So there's a lot of things that he did throughout his career that many people can only dream of. I respect that, even though I'm not a big Kobe fan.
Right.
Yeah,
You know, shout out to technology. I was able to watch both games at the same time.
How'd you do that?
Yeah. I mean, I used my laptop and I watched the TVs of Golden State playing and Kobe's retirement at the same time. It was really, really good to watch both of it, you know?
Yeah, Kobe, and I heard a little story about Shaq actually challenging him to score at least
50.
And what did he do? Showed him up and scored 60.
I saw the tweet. He's like, that bleep, that scored 60.
Right.
That was a really good, a good moment.
That was a great discussion. That ends the rundown. If you haven't followed our social media accounts, it's the Crossover FTV. Please follow us, join in the discussion, and even ask questions to us.
Let us know what you guys want us to talk about next time, and we want you guys to contribute as well.
Yeah.
Exactly. The next segment will be a fun one because we will be looking at the favorite plays of the Raptors this season. Each of us have chosen a video, and we'll react to it as follows. So please stay tuned and join us.
I think I got the best one, so we'll see.
All right. Okay.
Welcome back to the Crossover. This segment is about us highlighting our favorite Raptor plays. Marky Mark, show us your play.
So my pick for the best play of the Raptors this season, and by far also I think the best dunk in the NBA this year, is when DeMar DeRozan dunked on Rudy Gobert. Check this out.
DeRozan throws down a vicious, nasty slam. Right over Gobert, and the Raptors lead by 1.
Oh my goodness. Now you're talking about an elite shot blocker. He took it in his grill and threw it on him. Posterization right there.
Do you guys see that? I mean, the difficulty. He's dunking on an elite defender like Rudy Gobert, top defensive player in the league. And the way he contours his body, I think that's a very difficult thing to do. And the exclamation point that they put on him, that's by far what I think makes him the best dunk and the best play this season.
It's not a bad dunk at all.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's one of the best. He has a lot of the other dunks, past season against Mozgov, against Singler, Detroit Pistons. But that is one of the best dunks of this season. But although they kind of lost that game, I kind of remember that.
I'm trying to win battle here, not war. Right?
Okay.
But think about it. This is like Jordan dunking on Dikembe. It wasn't like Rudy Gobert was just standing like this and just letting him dunk on him facial. But Rudy Gobert tried to block a shot. He averages over 2 blocks a game. This guy was trying to block that shot, and DeMar DeRozan said, "No, you're not blocking in this. I'm gonna go find ways." He contours his body 360. I don't know what he did, but it just looks nasty. And then he just put that exclamation point of why that was the best play for the Raps this season.
Hey, that was a good video. Let's look at JR's video.
Okay, so my video is Corey Joseph's game winner against Washington Wizards. Washington Wizards and Toronto Raptors have a lot of history the past season being swept. So this is a really good. This is my favorite play. A game winner.
The
Check it out.
Raptors do not have a timeout left. Carroll finds DeRozan. DeRozan pushed. Joseph in the corner for the win. Got it! Corey Joseph in the corner for the win! They'll review it, but from my angle, it appeared as though he let it fly in time.
And the Raptors have won it.
So as you can see there, Corey Joseph, after hitting that shot, he was so amped up. He's a Toronto-born player from Pickering. I'm from Pickering. So that's why it's one of my favorite plays. He's not a good shooter. He's not
I don't think any of us expected him to
He's not
be there.
He's not expected
I thought
to be
it was
shoot.
Lowry until.
But he is a slasher. He's a driver. But when DeMar DeRozan curled around, he was getting double teamed. He was lucky to see that. Corey Joseph was wide open for a 3, and he didn't have to take a 3. They're down by 1 because Washington Wizards they missed key free throws. They're on a 3-game losing streak, and that was a big, huge game winner on their home court, and plus that history between the Raptors and Washington Wizards that
It was swept.
game swept. And even though Corey Joseph wasn't on the Raptors back then, that was like a very meaningful game to watch. And that game winner was my favorite play.
Yeah, I'll jump on that highlight and talk about game winners. My highlight is basically Kyle Lowry showing that he's an all-star and shooting the game winner on Delhi of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Check this out.
Tied at 97. Clock down to 6. To 5. Shot clock at 4. Lowry. A 2. to two. They will review it. It isn't two. Foot right on the line. 3.8 left.
I love his reaction, man. He knew it was going in, and he wanted the ball. He took the shot. What a gamer. This guy has had an unbelievable performance tonight here. Fans at home, fans of the ACC, this has been...
There you have it. You just saw Kyle Lowry hitting that two-pointer for the buzzer beater. And that was such a great play because it was against Cleveland Cavaliers and home court advantage. Like, that was just such an amazing moment. And it also produced a lot of photos of the dynamic duo at the end. You saw there where DeMar comes over and hugs Kyle Lowry. And that just shows how like the chemistry between them and how much trust we have in those two.
I like the way they play this year, the way they play together. It's just that chemistry that I haven't seen them have. Something I like them this year.
And Cleveland, they knew that this game was important. They were the number one seed. They were the second seed. Cleveland Cavaliers, they won a few games against the Raptors during the season, and this is a must game win for the Raptors. You know, trying to make their mark against a very dominant team, the number one seeded in the Eastern Conference. You know, and after the game, LeBron was saying that, we're not mentally there. You know, but you know, Kyle Lowry was able to step up, step back, kiss myself, jumper for the two, and make a game winner.
Exactly, and there you have it. So those are the 3 videos that you can choose from that is the best Raptor play of this season. Next up on Crossover, Spotlight. Which issue will be under the spotlight? It's all coming up next on The Crossover. Welcome back to The Crossover. We hope you enjoyed the Raptor plays that we showed you. Next segment, we'll go under the spotlight and look in depth with certain topics.
A Raptors playoff prediction. I can see them going to the second round and have a really great chance of winning against the Indiana Pacers. With DeMar Carroll, Corey Joseph, and Bismack Biyombo, they have a really great role players that can really make it far. But with their matchup, I can see them going up against the Miami Heat and losing in 6 games. What you got, JR?
My playoff prediction for the Toronto Raptors is that the Toronto Raptors and Indiana Pacers will make it to the games. Will make it to Game 7, and the Toronto Raptors will make it to the second round to face either the Miami Heat or the Charlotte Hornets. The thing is, I need DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry to step up their game and play at an all-star level, like they have been playing it the whole season. I need to see the bench playing well. I need to see Terrence Ross, Patrick Patterson play at the all-time high. They have 3 years of experience, 2 years of experience of playing in the playoffs. So I need them to prove me wrong that they'll be able to make it to the second round of the NBA playoffs. What do you think, PJ?
My Raptor playoff prediction is the Raps all the way to the finals, but then losing in 5 games. I believe that the Raptors will make it all the way. Pacers are challenged, but they'll make it through, and that is because of the dynamic duo between Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. They have something to prove, and especially since Toronto was the all-star destination, I feel like they want to bring something home, and I believe that will be the franchise, best to go all the way to the finals. And I feel that this is the year. So, Raps, let's show them what we can do. Those were some heated arguments and points. Now, let's go to the basketball bulletin. And that ends our show, The Crossover, our first episode. So, any last words?
Hit me up on Instagram, Mr. Marky Mark.
And also hit me up on Twitter at JustinRyanM.
Make sure you follow all our social media accounts, The Crossover FTV. See you next episode.